My name is Maya, and I am 24 years old. When I first started learning English, I felt nervous and unsure. I had always loved English movies and songs, but speaking and understanding real conversations seemed like climbing a mountain without a rope. Today, I want to share my story, how I transformed my confidence, found my voice, and fell in love with English, all through the power of social media. I remember the day clearly. It was a rainy afternoon in April, and I was scrolling through my phone, feeling frustrated. I had tried many methods, flashcards, grammar books, even one-on-one classes, but nothing seemed to click. Then I stumbled upon a short video on TikTok. A young woman, around my age, spoke in clear, simple sentences about her daily morning routine. The captions appeared below each sentence. I wake up at 6:30, she said, smiling as she brushed her teeth. I have breakfast at 7. Her energy was contagious, and I found myself repeating each line aloud. That moment was the spark. I realized that social media could be more than entertainment, it could be my classroom. I decided right then I would learn English with social media. Discovering the right Chanelsi created a new Instagram account dedicated to English learning. I followed content creators who taught phrases through daily life situations. At English with Emma, age 23, living in London, who posted phrase of the day reels. At Daily Dialogues, featuring short skits with subtitles. At Global Journals, where students from around the world shared their stories every morning. I opened Instagram and spent 30 minutes watching reels. I learned how to introduce myself. Hello, my name is Maya. I learned how to describe my age and feelings. I am 24 years old, and today I feel excited. I felt proud. The first time I posted a video of myself saying I am learning English with social media, complete with a big smile, building a routine constancy mattered. I set up a routine that felt realistic. Morning 7:07:30 a.m. Watch 2 reels on Instagram, practice speaking out loud. Afternoon 12:20 p.m. Scroll through TikTok for English challenge videos, try a tongue twister or repeat a 15-second dialogue. Evening 8:09 p.m. Watch one YouTube lesson, take notes, and record myself summarizing the lesson. On weekends, I tried live sessions on Facebook. Although my heart raced when I joined live chats, I pushed myself to type short comments. Good afternoon. How are you today? Slowly, I saw my confidence grow. My first live conversation on evening, I joined a live workshop hosted by Emma from At English with Emma. There were nearly 1,000 viewers. My palms were sweaty as I typed in the chat. I am Maya from India. Nice to meet you all. To my surprise, Emma read my comment aloud. Nice to meet you, Maya. My heart skipped a beat. I realized that even a small message could connect me with people all over the world. During the Q&A, someone asked, "What is your biggest challenge in learning English?" I hesitated, but then wrote, "Listening and speaking fast." Emma responded with tips. Use subtitles first, then try without them. Slow down the playback speed if needed. That simple advice changed everything. I went home and adjusted my YouTube settings. Now I could control the speed and rewind whenever I missed a word. Creating my own content a month later, I felt ready to contribute. I filmed a short TikTok video introducing myself. Hi everyone, my name is Maya. I am 24 years old. I'm learning English with social media. Today, I want to share 5 sentences I learned this week. Let's go! I spoke slowly, pronounced each word carefully, and added captions. When I posted it, my heart raced. Within hours, I received supportive comments. Great job. Keep it up. Your pronunciation is clear. I replied to each one. Thank you so much. Each reply was a chance to practice writing. In English, the power of community learning alone can feel lonely, but social media gave me a community. On Facebook, I joined the group English Learners Worldwide. There, I met students from Brazil, Japan, Nigeria, and beyond. We held weekly speaking challenges. One week's theme was Describe Your Favorite Meal. I recorded myself saying, my favorite meal is biryani. Biryani is a spicy rice dish with chicken. I like its rich flavor and aroma. I eat biryani with raita and salad. I posted my video and then watched others describe sushi, tacos, pasta. We gave each other feedback. Nice vocabulary. Try using delicious instead of good. Every correction felt like a gift. Overcoming doubt not every day was smooth. Sometimes I felt stuck, like I hit a plateau. I couldn't understand fast speech. I stumbled over simple words, and I wondered if I should give up. One night, I posted, in our Facebook group, I'm frustrated. I feel like I'm not improving. Almost instantly, replies came. We all face this. Keep going. Try a new method. Shadowing. Take a break and review basics. One member, Lucas from Brazil, age 26, sent me a voice message. Maya, you're doing great. When I started, I couldn't understand my favorite songs. Now I listen daily and learn new words. His story motivated me to try shadowing listening to a sentence and immediately repeating it. It was hard, but bit by bit, my listening improved. My breakthrough moment. A few months into my journey, I joined an Instagram live hosted by @LearnWithLeo, age 25, a popular YouTuber. He spoke rapidly about 5 English idioms for daily conversation. My heart pounded. I thought I wouldn't catch anything. To my surprise, I recognized 2 idioms. Break the ice and once in a blue moon. I typed in the chat. I love these idioms. Leo paused and said, Great to see you, Maya. Keep studying. Even if he didn't know me, hearing my name felt empowering. After that session, I felt unstoppable. I practiced the idioms with friends. Let me break the ice by asking you about your hobbies. It happens once in a blue moon, but I love stargazing. My friends laughed and responded, and I realized I wasn't just memorizing words, I was using language to connect, designing my own Learn English with social media script. Inspired by all these experiences, I decided to create my own structured script. Learn English with social media. I drafted a plan. Introduction. Hello, my name is Maya. I am 24 years old. Brief story. I struggled. I tried many methods. Then I found social media. Daily route in morning. Instagram Reels practice, afternoon. TikTok challenges, evening. YouTube lessons and shadowing. Community engagement. Facebook groups. Comment on live sessions. Post speaking videos with captions. Content creation. Record short videos. Introduce yourself. Describe your day. Share 3 new sentences or idioms weekly. Use interactive polls and quizzes in stories. Motivation and review. Celebrate small wins. First live comment. First full sentence. Record monthly progress videos. Review past videos to track improvement. I wrote this script in simple English. Then I filmed the first episode of my YouTube series, Learn English with Social Media. Episode 1. I sat in my cozy bedroom, held my phone in selfie mode, and began, "Hi, everyone. Welcome to Learn English with Social Media. I'm Maya, and I'm 24. Today, I'll share my daily routine for learning English. Let's start with Instagram." My hands trembled, but I spoke clearly. I showed my notes on screen, I played a real example, and I practiced the sentences. When I finished, I said, "If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share with friends. Let me know in the comments, what is your favorite way to learn English?" I uploaded the video and prayed it would help someone else like me. Seeing real progress over the next weeks, the views rose steadily. More learners joined my live sessions. Comments poured in. "Maya, I tried your routine. My listening improved. Thank you for explaining shadowing. It helps me a lot. Your smile makes me motivated to study every day." Each comment reminded me why I started. I wasn't just learning, I was teaching and inspiring others. My English skills soared. I no longer hesitated in conversations. I could watch movies without subtitles and read articles with ease, reflecting on the journey today. As I look back, I hardly recognize the nervous girl who couldn't say a simple sentence. Social media gave me tools, teachers, and friends. It turned my phone into a classroom and the world into my study group. The most important lesson I learned: consistency plus community plus creativity equals confidence. Consistency in practice, community support from learners worldwide, and creativity in making content turn fear into excitement. Every day, I wake up at 6:30, just like that first TikTok video I saw. Every day, I say to myself, I am Maya. I am learning English with social media, and with each sentence, my confidence grows. Your turn to begin. If you feel lost or overwhelmed, remember my story. You don't need expensive courses or perfect grammar from day one. Start with one reel, one TikTok, one comment in a live chat. Find the content that excites you and make it part of your routine. When you feel stuck, reach out. There's a whole community waiting to help. So here's my invitation. Join me on this journey. Use social media as your teacher. Record your progress. Share your challenges and victories. Together, we will learn English, connect with new friends, and open doors to endless possibilities. I woke up one morning to a notification that made my heart race. Maya's journey now featured in top 10 inspiring language learners. I rubbed my eyes, thinking it must be a dream. But when I opened the link, there it was, my smiling face, my story alongside 9 other learners from around the world. I felt a rush of pride and gratitude. All those early mornings, all the times I stumbled over words and thought of quitting, had led to this moment. Not long after, I received a private message from a viewer named Anna in Spain. She wrote, "Your videos gave me courage to start speaking English on my Instagram stories. Today I shared my first video. I am Anna. I love cooking paella. Thank you, Maya." I could almost feel her excitement through the screen. That message reminded me why I had created my series in the first place, not just to improve my own skills, but to help others find their confidence. At this point, social media wasn't just a tool, it was my stage. I started experimenting with formats, live Q&A sessions, duets on TikTok, fill in the blank quizzes on Instagram stories. One idea that took off was Word of the Week. Every Monday, I introduced a new vocabulary word: serendipity, meticulous, resilience, and challenged my audience to use it in a sentence. By Friday, the hashtag Maya Word of the Week was full of creative examples. I found my lost keys by serendipity. She was meticulous in her project planning. He showed resilience after the setback. Seeing hundreds of sentences from learners everywhere filled me with joy and reinforced the communal spirit we had built. Of course, success didn't come without fresh hurdles. One day, while preparing a video on phrasal verbs, I realized that many learners found these tricky because their meanings often weren't literal. I filmed myself explaining break up, give in, and look forward to, but when I posted the draft to my private editing group, I received feedback. Too fast-paced, need more real-life examples, maybe include graphics? I paused. I loved filming in my bedroom with just natural light and spontaneity, but to truly help my viewers, I needed to improve my production quality. So I spent a weekend learning basic video editing on apps, experimenting with animated text pop-ups, and finding royalty-free background music to make my lessons more engaging. It was challenging, but I found that learning these skills boosted both my technical vocabulary and my confidence. Plus, it made my videos look more professional. By month 6, I had established a pattern. Script writing on Saturdays, filming on Sundays, editing on Mondays, and posting every Wednesday. I called it my filming flow, and I shared it with my community so they could adapt it for their own projects. I even created a simple template, a Google Doc with sections for hook, main content, practice exercise, and call to action. When I posted the template link, dozens of learners thanked me for giving structure to their English with video ambitions. Around this time, I began to introduce mini challenges to keep motivation high. One was silent storytelling. Learners would post a 15-second video with expressive gestures but no sound, then add English captions. This pushed them to think about how to convey meaning both visually and verbally. Another was speedy summary. After watching a short Instagram reel, they had to record a 30-second summary in their own words. These challenges equipped them with listening comprehension, paraphrasing skills, and quick recall, all essential for fluent conversation. Meanwhile, I realized that not everyone had the same access to high-speed internet or a fancy phone. I started a parallel series of text-only posts on Twitter where I shared bit-sized tips. Tip 1. Read one English news headline every morning. Tip 2. Circle 3 new words. Tip 3. Use each word in your own tweet. I encouraged my audience to tag me and hashtag Maya Morning Read so I could retweet their examples. This Twitter thread became a lifeline for learners in areas with limited data, showing that social media language learning needn't be flashy, it only needed consistency and creativity. As I balance videos, tweets, and live events, I sometimes felt overwhelmed. I noticed my energy dipping, and I worried about burnout. That's when I introduced Self-Care Sundays. I posted about the importance of rest. Today, take a break from learning. Go for a walk, read a book in your native language, then come back refreshed. I shared my own rest activities, journaling in my notebook, stretching with yoga, listening to English audiobooks at half speed. The community loved it. Many wrote that giving themselves permission to pause actually helped them return with renewed focus. By 9 months in, My skills had improved so dramatically that I began offering unknown coaching sessions via Zoom. I set clear guidelines. Sessions would be 30 minutes long, focused on either conversation practice, pronunciation drills, or script feedback. My pricing was modest, just enough to cover my time, and the demand was steady. Coaching others reinforced my own knowledge, correcting pronunciation errors in someone else's speech made me more aware of my own mouth movements. Giving feedback on a script taught me to write more clearly for my YouTube episodes. Around this time, a surprising opportunity arrived. A small educational startup invited me to be a guest speaker at their virtual conference, Digital Classrooms 2025. The theme was social media as a learning catalyst. My heart pounded as I prepared my keynote. I recounted my journey from that rainy April afternoon to speaking in front of hundreds of educators, developers, and fellow content creators. I shared data how engagement rose to 100% when I added subtitles, how learner retention improved 50% after I introduced interactive polls. During the live stream, chat messages scrolled by. Inspiring, actionable tips. Will implement in my classes. Receiving that validation from professionals in the field felt surreal, but it reinforced my belief that anyone, even someone like me, with no formal training in education, could make a real impact through passion and persistence. After the conference, I took a moment to reflect. My English journey had started with simple imitation, copying TikTok captions, repeating a few lines, but it evolved into something much bigger. I had become a creator, a mentor, and a connector. Social media gave me the tools. I added my story, my personality, and a community spirit that turned solitary practice into shared growth. But I didn't stop there. I began collaborating with other language creators. I did a joint live stream with Lucas from Brazil, where we swapped teaching styles. I taught Hindi speakers English phonetics. He taught Spanish speakers English idioms. We laughed at our own mispronunciations and celebrated each correct sentence. Later, I co-hosted a TikTok series with Emma in London, where we each challenged the other to explain a complex grammar point in under 30 seconds. These cross-continental collaborations enriched my content and expanded my audience into new regions. By the one-year mark, my YouTube channel had over 10,000 subscribers. My Instagram Learn English with Maya story highlights had more than 500 saves, and my Facebook group was a buzzing hub of over 2,000 learners. But beyond the numbers, the real achievement was the transformation in so many lives. I received weekly emails from people telling me how they'd landed jobs, studied abroad, or simply felt confident ordering coffee in English for the first time. One message stood out. Maya, because of your videos, I proposed to speak in English at my sister's wedding. I was terrified, but it went smoothly. Thank you. I kept that email printed and pinned above my desk as a reminder of the ripple effect one person's journey can have. Looking ahead, I've sketched plans for a book, Social Media English, From Scroll to Speak, and a free downloadable workbook full of exercises, prompts, and QR codes linking back to my best videos. I'm researching partnerships with educational NGOs to bring curated social media-based lessons to classrooms in rural areas. The possibilities feel limitless, but every time I feel overwhelmed by new ideas, I return to the core formula that started it all: consistency, community, creativity. I still wake up at 6:30, record my word of the week, and share it with the world. I still comment on live streams, cheer on fellow learners, and challenge myself to try new formats. And I still remember that nervous girl who once thought English was a mountain too high to climb. So here's my final message for you. Your journey can begin today. Open the social app you use the most. Find one piece of English content that interests you and spend 5 minutes engaging with it. Listen, repeat, comment, or create. That small step can become a habit. That habit can build confidence, and that confidence can open doors you never imagined. In the weeks that followed, I dove headfirst into writing my book, Social Media English. From scroll to speak every morning before filming or responding to messages, I spend 2 hours outlining chapters, drafting anecdotes, and weaving in exercises. Chapter 1 retold my initial discovery, the TikTok reel that ignited my journey, complete with screenshots and reflections on why simple, relatable content can spark confidence. Chapter 2 dissected routines. 5 sample daily schedules for learners at different levels, from absolute beginners to intermediate speakers aiming for fluency. As I wrote, I imagine readers across the globe, farmers in rural villages, busy professionals on their commute, high schoolers dreaming of study abroad, and tailored exercises so anyone could pick up the book and start practicing immediately. Meanwhile, my free workbook took shape as a companion to the book and videos. I designed sections where learners could jot down their phrase of the day, record audio clips of their own recordings, and scan QR codes linking to curated video. Lessons on pronunciation, idioms, and real-life dialogues. Collaborating with a friend who studied graphic design, I chose vibrant colors and intuitive layouts. Each lesson began with a short story, followed by comprehension questions, then a space to create one's own mini-script. My aim was for the workbook to feel more like a journal than a textbook, something learners would cherish and personalize. Around this time, I received an invitation to visit Mumbai for a weekend workshop hosted by an educational NGO focused on empowering underprivileged youth. I flew there with a mix of excitement and nerves. In the workshop hall, over 100 teenagers gathered, most of whom had never held a smartphone, let alone used it for structured learning. I began with a simple exercise. Describe your dream job in 3 sentences. Some wrote quietly, head spent. Others stared at the blank projector screen, hesitant to speak. I shared my own example. I want to be a teacher who inspires confidence. I love seeing faces light up when a student speaks a new sentence. I hope my story shows that learning can happen anywhere. Then I invited volunteers to read their sentences aloud. The room crackled with energy as shy voices transformed into confident declarations. A young girl named Priya spoke slowly but clearly. I want to be a journalist who travels the world. When she finished, the hall erupted in applause. At that moment, I knew my journey had come full circle, from a solitary learner scrolling through reels to standing on stage and igniting dreams in others. Back home, buoyed by that experience, I reached out to local radio stations and pitched a weekly segment, Maya's Minute, a 3-minute English tip delivered in a blend of Hindi and English. To my delight, one station agreed. Every Monday morning, I recorded a short segment. Today's tip: use in no time to mean very quickly. Example: I finished my homework in no time. Hearing my own voice broadcast across Mumbai's airwaves felt surreal. Listeners sent messages. Your segment keeps me motivated on my morning walk. I used in no time when ordering coffee. Each message reminded me that learning extends beyond screens and social feeds. It can reach someone tuning in on an old transistor radio. As 2025 progressed, I set up collaborations with 3 educational NGOs in rural Tamil Nadu and Assam, providing them with printed copies of my workbook and preloaded tablets containing my best video lessons. I train local teachers via Zoom on how to integrate social media style content into their classrooms, emphasizing that real engagement comes when learners create and share their own stories, whether through hand-drawn comics, short audio recordings, or simple text prompts on backs of notebooks. Reports trickled in: higher attendance in English classes, more student participation, and a newfound enthusiasm for speaking up. At home, my own content evolved too. I experimented with animated shorts, little cartoons that visualized idioms. Through playful scenarios, 2 penguins breaking the ice by sliding into each other on the ice rink, or a cat popping out of a blue moon to illustrate once in a blue moon. These cartoons became a hit among younger learners and even educators who appreciated a lighthearted way to embed vocabulary. Through it all, I kept a personal blog, part diary, part resource hub, where I chronicled milestones, shared behind the scenes, glimpses of my recording setup, and reflected on challenges like balancing content creation with self-care. I wrote honestly about days when I felt burnout creeping in and how self-care Sundays saved me. A quiet cup of chai on my balcony, reading a novel in Tamil, or simply going for a barefoot walk in my garden. Readers wrote back, sharing their own self-care rituals and thanking me for normalizing rest. Now, as I sit at my desk, camera off, notebook open, pen poised, I realize my story is still unfolding. I have plans to launch a mobile app that turns user-generated videos into interactive quizzes, to host an international virtual conference on digital language exchange, and to explore podcasts where I interview learners and teachers about their unique methods. But no matter how many new projects I undertake, I return to the same truth I began with. Learning a language is less about perfection and more about connection. It's about the first time you say, "My name is Maya," and "I am learning English," and anyone hears you and responds, "Welcome." So if you followed me this far, I hope you see that every step matters. Every reel watched, every comment typed, every challenge accepted brings you closer to fluency and confidence. Your journey might look different from mine. Maybe you prefer podcasts to TikToks, or study in small groups instead of going solo, but the core remains: be consistent, seek community, and infuse creativity into your practice. Keep sharing your voice, because when you speak, you give others permission to speak too. And with that, I close this chapter, not the end, but a pause before the next adventure. I'm Maya, still 24 for a few more months at least, and I'm grateful to learn and grow with each of you, one word at a time. Thank you for watching my story. I hope it inspires you to take that first step today. Remember, your voice matters, your story matters, and with social media, your English can shine. Keep going, keep speaking, and I'll see you in the next video.